today is iPhone launch day. So as y'all know, I absolutely love iPhone launch day, one of my favorite days of the year. And today I have the iPhone 11 Pro Max Midnight Green to show you guys. I was super excited to get this brand new color. So let's get right into it and unbox this bad boy. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick what comes in it, and then we will go ahead and check out everything else. So this beautiful new matte glass that you have on the back is ridiculously beautiful. I didn't know that I would like matte glass this much, but when you see this thing in person, it is gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. And of course you have those 3 cameras up there. So we'll talk about the phone in a bit, but let me go ahead and put that to the side and let's just look at what we get inside. So standard stuff, you get your designed by Apple in California with some stickers and some regulatory stuff. Pretty boring stuff. Something new this year though is we finally get fast charging capability. In my opinion, this is something that should have been added a long time ago, but better late than never, I guess. So you get your new fast charger. It is now USB-C to Lightning. So you do have the option to charge with Lightning to USB as you would normally, and then you obviously get your AirPod, or not AirPods, but just your headphones. And you get your new cable, which is going to be, like I said, it's going to be USB-C to Lightning. So you can obviously still charge, with any other Lightning cable, but this is obviously going to give you that fast charge capability. So let's go ahead and start talking directly about what's new about this phone, and it's a lot of focus about the camera, so let's get right into it. All right, so let's go ahead and start talking about this absolutely gorgeous new phone we have today. And as you can see, the finish around the edges is generally the same. That stainless steel, it will match the color of the phone you get. But what's new is this gorgeous matte glass on the back. It's no longer that fingerprint magnet glossy glass that we're used to. Rather, it's this sleek kind of looking new matte finish that is actually easier to grip in a lot of cases. If some people like me who don't like to put cases on their phones, I did notice that the gloss was a little harder to grip at certain times, but I think this fixes all of that. The only thing I did notice is that it goes from a matte finish to a glossy finish around that camera. I'm curious as to why they did that instead of keeping it uniform all the way throughout. Another thing some people noticed, and I did as well, is that this Apple logo has moved down a few inches. Whether that was to accommodate that bigger camera notch or if it was for something else, we don't know. But rumor has it is that the hardware for two-way charging is actually included in this phone, but the software and the charging was not efficient, so they disabled that feature for now while they work on it on the back end. And it's possible in the next coming months we should see an update that allows us to charge AirPods or an Apple Watch from the back. And the reason they moved this down was to help us guide the placement of those devices on the back of this phone. So that's something to look forward to. Let's see if that's the case. It's just rumors, but hey, you never know. And then let's go ahead and talk about this screen. Again, with this one, it is still the 6.5-inch OLED display, but this time it is a Super Retina XDR display. That is a mouthful, but it is gorgeous. The colors are more vivid, it's more sharp, it looks really, really nice, and I'm excited to see how it holds up over the next year. The one thing that you will notice if you're used to a XS or any iPhone that has that Force Touch, it's no longer Force Touch. So it's actually, they've changed it into haptic touch. So it's basically a long press and hold where you get that haptic feedback rather than actually physically pressing on that screen. And that's something I did notice while I was playing around with this thing is I was pressing and holding and I wasn't able to get anything, and I realized, oh, they've removed that 3D touch. Another thing is that you have that beautiful A13 Bionic chip inside. It's a 3rd generation neural engine, so it will be faster, it will be more efficient, it will help with everything, including that battery life. And that's something that a lot of people are excited about, is that Apple claims with the iPhone 11 Pro Max, you will get 5 extra hours of battery life. So I've had this for a few hours. I think it's almost been about 12 hours since I've had this phone. So I can tell you right now that yes, that battery life is staggeringly better. Even with my 10s Max, I was noticing significant drain while I was using it every day, streaming music, just using it for Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. I was noticing some significant drainage very quickly, especially with using LTE most of the time since I'm mostly out and about. So I did notice with this phone that battery doesn't drain that quickly. So whether it be for the battery inside is not bigger in general than the 10s Max, but rather the software has been tuned to make it more efficient and make it run better. So that way you get longer battery, you get a longer battery life out of it. And let's talk about the main feature, of course. The main feature being this triple camera setup. So this triple camera setup is not new to smartphones. Apple is not the first one to do this. There's Android phones that have had triple cameras for a while. But with Apple, you do get this 12 megapixel wide camera, you get a 12 megapixel telephoto camera, and you get a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. And what that's gonna do is enable you to take some more beautiful in-depth pictures either closer or further without having to change your vantage point. So when you open up that camera app, you're automatically going to see, I'm gonna get my other hand in there, you're automatically gonna see you're on that 1x zoom, but then let's go ahead and go to that 0.5 zoom. Oh, little software bugs, there we go, 0.5 zoom. And without me changing anything, I have immediately zoomed out so far. So I think this is gonna be really cool in terms of taking pictures. And then immediately, let me go ahead and zoom into that 2, and it becomes this beautiful macro shot. So I'm very excited to see how this works in the real world and see how beautiful these pictures are gonna be with this ultra wide camera that I have now. And I'm also excited to try out night mode, but of course I can't show you that right now because it is not nighttime. So, but night mode will dramatically increase that quality of your night pictures, which is something that I really I'm looking forward to, because I can't stand when those pictures are dark and then I have to sit there and try to filter it. And that's just, I feel like that's gonna be fixed with this. You might have to compromise on some of the graininess, but if you're zoomed out and you're not trying to get some fine detail at night, I think you should be fine. But I'm so excited to keep playing with this phone. I've only had it for, like I said, 12 hours, and I'm absolutely in love with the way it looks, the way it feels, even though it's the same. I think the matte finish gives it a different texture, and that's something that I'm really excited about. This battery life is gonna be amazing when I'm traveling, because I'm not gonna have to worry about, oh, I need to carry like a battery pack or anything like that. I might be able to go an entire day of traveling without having to charge this thing while using it to listen to music and stuff like that. And this A13 Bionic chip, again, like I said, makes this quicker, makes it faster, and this phone is just ridiculously beautiful. And that's what I have for the iPhone 11 Pro Max Midnight Green. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe.